Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I'm Miss Fatima Muhammad Iqbal, and today we are going to take the grammar portion, which is passive voice for all tenses, from unit number 12, talking about tomorrow's world, from Palestinian schools in Qatar. As the unit title suggests, that the main focus of passive voice will be in future. In our previous lessons, we already took passive voice in present and in past tenses. But in this unit, we are going to take passive in future as well. Let's start. So in this video, I'm going to cover two periods. Period number 3 on page number 77 and period number 7 on page number 82. On each period, you will find a question as a homework. For example, on period number 7, I'll give you homework of activity number 3, and on page number 77, I'll give you the activity number 3 as a homework. So both activity number 3 are your homework. Let's begin. See here. We have two voices, we have two tenses, two sentences, active and passive. In active, the subject is active. The subject is doing an action, whereas in passive, the subject is not important. The object of the subject is important. Let's read the example. Wild penguins attacked my sister. Here the question is, who did attack your sister? Wild penguins. Doer. The performer is important here. So wild penguin is the subject of the active, attacked is the action, and my sister is the object of the active. But when we convert it into passive, what do? We take the object of the active and we name it as the subject of the passive. So my sister, after it, the verb, but the verb needs to have a helping verb, plus the main verb must be in past participle. So my sister is singular, that's why we used was. If it were plural, like my sisters were, but it is singular, so we said my sister was attacked. By whom? By wild penguins. Very simple. Here, the dog chased the cat. The dog chased the cat. The dog is the subject, chased verb phrase, object is the cat. I already told you that the object of the active will be changed into the subject. Chased, the verb, will remain on its own position, and in the end we will bring the subject of the active, which will be the object of the passive. So the cat was chased by the dog. Here, the verb will be determined by the verb of the active. If it is in the past simple, we will use was or were. If it is present simple, for example, chases, is, are, or maybe am. If it is perfect, has chased, has been chased, or have been chased. If it is past perfect, had chased, had been chased. So the determination process will be from the verb itself. Let's take some more examples in order to enhance your understanding. She writes a letter. She writes a letter. Present simple. How will we make it passive? A letter is the object and it will become in the start as the subject. So a letter. Now look at the verb. Is it in present simple or past simple? What is it? It is in present simple. So it would be a letter is, and what is the past participle of write? Written. A letter is written by her. Very good. A letter is written, see, the object is the subject. The verb has the same place, but you have to reform it by her. That's the end of the passive. Number 2, they invited me. They invited me. Make it the subject. Me will be changed into I. I invited is or was invited by them. Let's go to number 3. He was drawing a picture. See? Again, a picture. Here we have ing. If you look at the verb, everything is okay. A picture was correct. But drawn. But here we have ing. Focus on it, dear students. It means we have to reform ing as well, and it will change the form and it will become being. A picture was being drawn by him. We did not omit ing. No, we just reformed it into being. The same happens if you have present continuous. Yes, dear students, the same happens with present continuous. For example, he is drawing a picture. A picture is being drawn by him. Let's continue.
Passive sentence in all the English tenses. Let's take an active sentence and change it to a passive sentence in each of the 12 English tenses. Remember, to make a passive sentence from an active one, first we bring the subject to the beginning of the sentence. Second, we add a form of to be according to the tense to the active sentence. Third, we add the past participle of the verb. The first and the third step are the same for all of the below sentences. So you only need to pay attention to the second step, which is using correct form of to be in each tense. Let's get started. So we're going to have an active sentence, and we are going to change each active sentence to form a passive sentence. Let's start with the present simple. The active form is Sarah eats an apple. The passive form becomes an apple is eaten. Next one is past simple. Sarah ate an apple. An apple was eaten. Future simple. Sarah will eat an apple. An apple will be eaten. Let's look at the continuous tenses. Present continuous. Sarah is eating an apple. Becomes an apple is being eaten. Past continuous. Sarah was eating an apple. An apple was being eaten. Future continuous. Sarah will be eating an apple. An apple will be being eaten. Let's look at the perfect tenses. Present perfect. Sarah has eaten an apple. An apple has been eaten. Past perfect. Sarah had eaten an apple. An apple had been eaten. Future perfect. Sarah will have eaten an apple. An apple will have been.
Yes, dear class. Now we are on page number 77. Read the examples. Now, you people are supposed to read the examples from 1 to 10 and write for me which tenses are they. For example, scientists are developing crops. Then they made here passive. Crops are being developed. Which tense is that? Here I know that it is passive. Here it is active. But are developing or are being developed. Present continuous. Good. Write for me. Same for 3 and 4. What are they? 5 and 6. What are they? 7 and 8. What are they? And 9 and 10. What are they? Write for me and then check it with me. Yes. Number 2. Number 2 is the passive of number 1, which is present continuous. Number 3. People set up the UN in 1945. In 1945. The UN was set up in 1945. Past simple. Past simple active. Past simple passive. God has given us this world. God has given us perfect. But which perfect is it? Present perfect. Very good. It will force millions to leave. Millions will be forced to leave. Future simple. What are people going to do about it? What's going to be done about it? Going to be done. This is again a form of the future. Now here, one more thing I want to tell you is that whenever I ask my students to make passive, I ask them to underline the verb and start looking for the object soon after that. For example, are developing is our word phrase, right? After it, what do we have? Crops. See? Crops. And after that, we will add the verb are. There is ing. Are being. What is the participle of develop? Developed. Crops are being developed by scientists. Scientist is not important, so that's why we did not include it. Again, I give you a tip that how to form passive. Just start soon after the verb. Okay? We will practice it more. Now, look at the examples again. Pause the video here and take the best way. I'll continue here. We use forms of be or have plus be plus past participle to produce present and past tense passive. Present and past tense passive. Do we use have in present and past tense, or is, are, am, or was, were? Exactly, we use be, is, are, am, or was, were. We use forms of be or have be plus past participle to produce perfect. Perfect, of course, have. Yes. See, in example 5 and 6, has, have. Number 3, we can use be or will be past participle to talk about the future in the passive. As an example, 7 to 8. In 7 to 8, what did we use? Will. And it is for what? For the future. Yes, we did not use is or am. We used will. Number 4, we can use be or going to be plus past participle to talk about the future. Future. Be talks about the present. Going to be. Yes, dear students, before solving the exercises, review these tenses again in order to learn them very well. We have different tenses which we took in our previous classes and units also. We have present simple, present continuous, past simple, past continuous, present perfect, past perfect, future simple, future going to, model and model perfect. How did we change them? This is something very, very important. Here, when we have do, when we have present simple or we have past simple, we use either is rm, or for past simple we use was or were. When we have present continuous or past continuous, we use either is or am or are. And for past continuous, we use was or were, being. Being is very important. We do not forget ing. I have seen many students when they are resolving and when they are making passive, they forget about ing. So there would be no difference between present continuous and present simple if you remove ing. This is the only difference between present simple and present continuous. See, my homework is done. My homework is being done. So if you remove being, that will be the same. So what is the difference? So focus here, review them very well in order to understand them very well, and do not miss any part of this grammar. Here we have something new, which is future. I will do my homework. My homework will be done. Of course, with will, I can't use past participle. So what do? We add be. I'm going to do my homework. My homework is going to be done. Again, be, D-O-N-E, done. I must do my homework. My homework must be done. Because with the modal verb also, we cannot use past participle. You know that the modal verbs take only infinitive. So in order to add a past participle, you must plus a be. I should have done my homework. My homework should have been done. This was a copying problem. My homework should have been done. Now, pause the video here. Change the following into present, perfect, and past passive form. You have to make passive. Some of them are present, some of them are perfect, some of them are past. You have to make passive form, and if necessary, use by. If it is not necessary, don't use by. Pause the video here. Yes, dear students, before you start, I would like to repeat the tip that I gave you before. See, we have to make passive. Now look at the sentence. It's a bit long. If you read it slowly. Number 1, by the end of World War II. This is just an addition. Copy it as it is. Okay. Now the sentence with the verb, with the subject, and with the object starts from here. This tragic and disastrous event had killed as many as 85 million people. This is my sentence. This is which will be changed into passive. Okay. First of all, I told you that if you see the sentence, quickly underline the verb. What is the verb? Had killed. So the object that is following the verb will be the subject of my passive. What is following this verb? Had killed. Yes, as many as 85 million people. So I found the subject of my passive. I found the verb phrase. Okay, so let's make it. As many as 85 million people had, what will we add here? Been killed. By what? by this tragic and disastrous event. See how simple it is. First of all, underline the verb, find the subject soon after the verb, then before the verb you will find the object of the passive. See, as I brought it here, as many as 85 million people, this is the subject of my passive. Had killed, what is the passive of had killed? Had been killed. By whom? By this tragic and disastrous event. How simple it is. Number 1, number 2, number 3, and then you will start with 2, 1, 3. It had also destroyed is my verb, and where is my object? This one. Make them. Number 3, the world's leaders required. Where is my verb? Required. As a result, a group of 50 countries created. Created is my verb. Underline it and soon after it start. Builders constructed the new building. Where is my verb? Constructed and start soon after it. All over the world since 1945. I'll not use this one because it's not going to be passive. It's just addition. People in danger have needed. What is my verb? Have needed. UN people are carrying out. Where is my verb? Carrying out. And soon after, this is my subject of my passive. Clearly we need the UN. Need is my verb and the UN will be the subject of passive. So simple. Try to follow this step in order to solve the passive easily. Now check your answers. Pause the video and then check your answers. Very simple. Just be sure about your verb, subject and object. See, I started with the object and then comes the verb and then in the end the subject if it is needed. Now, this is your homework. Homework on page number 77, activity number 3. You are not supposed to change all of them, just 1, 2 here and 1 and 2 here. What are you supposed to do? As I told you earlier, just underline the verb. For example, in number 1, food scientists are going to develop many new kinds of crops. Now, this is my sentence. Where is my verb? Are going to develop. Underline it and then start soon after that. Many new kinds of crops. Yes, dear students, start like this. Many new kinds of crops are going to be developed by food scientists. See? First of all, mention the verb, start, verb, and then in the end, you will add by agent. I'm starting the next period, which is page number 82. Very simple. Here you will find only the will, future and modal verbs. Will, people will find solutions. Solutions will be found. Of course, I told you earlier, will always comes with infinitive, first form of the verb. But the rule of passive is that the verb must be in past participle. That's why what do? We add be. The same is followed with other modal verbs. The other modal verbs join only the first form. See, have to, can achieve, must make. So we add what? We add be in order to balance past participle with the modal verb. Let's read them. People will find solutions. Active. Solutions will be found. People can achieve this. Soon after the verb, this can be achieved. People have to achieve it. It has to be achieved. It is singular, so it needs has. People must make it available. See, after my verb I have it. It must be made available. It must be made available. Very, very simple. You are just adding be in the verb and you are changing the position of the object and subject. Pause the video here and solve your exercises. Look at the examples again. Take the best way to complete this statement. We can use be or will be, past participle, to form a future passive as an example 1 and 2. Without looking at example 1 and 2, tell me, for the future passive, do we use only be or will be? Of course, will be. Number 2. Will is a main verb like find and achieve, or a modal verb like can, have to, and must? What do you think? Will. We took it in our earlier units. Will is not only a main verb. It is a modal verb as well, like can, have to, and must. Like, will you join my party? Will you dance with me? So it's an offer. It's a modal verb. Number 3. We use various modal verbs plus participle, or we use modal verb plus be plus past participle to make different modal passive. Sorry, I told you that modal verbs do not come with past participle directly. They do not accept it. They accept only present. So we add a be in order to balance the equation. Modal verbs be plus past participle, like here, must be, has to be, can be, will be. Yes, dear students. Now, dear students, in activity number 2, they're giving us a free hand. They're saying that change the underlined section only. Use modal passive forms. Modal. So forget about this one. Just change this one. They have broken the machine and we can't repair it. They have broken the machine and it can't be repaired. See, after the verb, you will start it can't repaired. No, it can't be repaired. By us is not important. Come to number 2. We don't want to carry so much because it might damage the vehicle. It might damage the vehicle. This is my verb, might damage. I'll start with what? The vehicle. The vehicle might be damaged. Number 3. Also underline the verb. Number 3, you underline the verb and then you will start with the object of the active and subject of the passive. Number 4, same thing. You have to finish and then you will start with the whole job has to be finished or have to be. You mustn't use is the verb phrase and the equipment will be the subject of your passive. If you took that factory job, they would teach you all. Would teach is the verb and you is the subject of the passive. You would. Check your answers. Very, very simple and easy. Pause the video here. They have broken the machine and it can't be repaired. Number 2, the vehicle might be damaged. People shouldn't be allowed to work. The whole job has to be finished. The equipment mustn't be used. See, what did we do? We just added be in order to bring the modal verb with the past participle. You would be taught. Here is your second homework, which is on page number 82. You have to use the suitable modal verb with modal verb and you have to make it passive, yani you will add be and the third form of these verbs. For example, the violent war can't be allowed to continue. I agree, the fighting dash immediately stop. The fighting must be stopped immediately. Do the rest and send me your work on my WhatsApp number. I'll grade you. Thank you very much and good luck.